Hey y'all, it's Renegade, and it's time to spill more reality on all things RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. The Tournament of All-Stars is still officially on, so make sure you like and subscribe for more content, as you're not going to want to miss a single drop this season. On this podcast, we're going to take a moment to look into the future, because rumors are that All-Stars 11 is currently casting, so we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive to determine which queens are on our personal wish lists to return. But before we begin, let me introduce my co-host, and he's been on more seasons than Jujubee. It's QuackrrJack. Jack,
Hey,
isn't it kind of crazy that we're literally about to start a whole new decade of All-Stars here soon?
girl, it makes me feel a little bit older.
Uh,
And that's nothing bad with that, right? There's nothing bad with getting old, but I wasn't
we're gonna have
expecting
to
it.
take back all those jokes that you give about me about that.
Well, what can I say?
Honestly, though, it is kind of crazy if you really think about it that we have 17 seasons of like regular Drag Race and then 10 seasons of All Stars moving on to our 11th, right? Like, it's, I don't know any other franchise that has almost as many All Star seasons as they do like regular seasons. But it definitely seems, for whatever reason, that this tournament format will likely be back for the next season. So chances are we're probably going to see another group of 18 queens come back here and do their thing, which I'm not mad at. And I think there are a lot of opportunities here for us to see a very diverse group of queens, which is the one thing I do like about having this many people in the cast. But at the same time, too, it does make it a little bit difficult, I think, in some ways to kind of narrow things down because obviously you're not going to want to throw all of your front runners on one season. So I can guarantee that the queens that we probably talk about today probably are not all going to be on the same cast here because we're probably all going to be picking out queens that we really want to see do well and queens that probably will do well. But you know we'll kind of see what happens here in the future. As far as when it comes to casting for the All Star seasons, we've kind of already talked about like our criticisms here, Jack. But go ahead and kind of run me through your kind of thoughts when it comes to All Stars 10 overall, and what our thoughts will be for like casting for All Stars 11. Do you think they're going to go the same route here, where they kind of do like half and half, or do you really think they'll put like 18 hard hitters on this season?
There's no way we're getting 18 hard hitters. That's crazy. That's unheard of. That is not something that will ever happen. Let me tell you, the last time we had a cast of hard hitters was All Star Season 2, I would say. I'm not saying that you have to do extremely well in your season to be considered a hard hitter, but I feel like you have to at least really stand out in some way. And I think some of the girls who've returned since All Stars 2 have been girls who stood out for some of the wrong reasons. Yeah, not to be
Mhm.
shady, but I do think there's a little bit of a, typecast going on anything. So and I don't have a problem with that. I think, it's fun when someone surprises us, and it's also fun when we get to see the girls we want to go further because they seem to be outdoing the rest of the competition. I don't think there's a bad part about any of it, to be honest.
I mean, honestly, the early boots are coming back and they're at least able to like re-show themselves again and kind of get reestablished in front of a new audience. And then you have the queens that are coming back to do amazing and that we know will do amazing and then they do amazing. So I think it works out in some ways kind of for everybody here. But basically what we're going to kind of do here is we're going to run through each season and we're going to kind of talk about who our top picks are to come back in each season, we're going to kind of give two names at least per individual between us who we want to see. One would be the queen who hasn't had that chance to return, and then maybe we'll throw in another name who has already been on an All Star season that we definitely want to see come back. So we'll go ahead and we'll start out in chronological order here, starting with season one. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, a lot of these earlier seasons have a bunch of returnees already, so there's a few people here and there that we haven't seen. And for me, in particular, from season one, Queen, I would love to see. I don't even know if she still does drag anymore. I don't think she does. But Akasha is the one queen from season one that I think we really need to see back, just because this queen gave us so much good drama in 3 episodes. Like, I couldn't just imagine what Akasha, just the drama Akasha could possibly bring, just bringing herself in a season moving forward. If I'm not going to go the drama route and I'm going to bring back a queen that I think has potential to really take the crown and has had potential to take the crown since season one, then that would be Nina Flowers. And I feel like Nina Flowers absolutely should come back for 2025. Like, I know Nina is mostly probably more doing like her DJ thing now than she is probably doing drag, but I know she still does drag, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that she could possibly come back and show us the 2025 drag that she did back in 2011, or sorry, 2009. Like, she was far ahead of the grain as far as I'm concerned. I feel like Nina would come back and she would slay so hard. Jack, what were your thoughts on my choices here, and would be these the two queens that you would bring back to season one?
For me, if I had to bring back a queen that still does drag, I mean, Akasha was there, but she doesn't do drag. It would be Jade Sotomayor, and I know there's drama between her and Naisha and some other girls, a little bit of shade and messiness there. I think Jade was kind of snubbed on her season. I think she got the normal, unfortunate that a lot of girls who happen to be Latinx or Puerto Rican get kind of thing. So I think that she would be great coming back because she did have that fire to win. She's not afraid to speak her mind. She could give us some of that good drama. And if I had to pick a girl who's already come back, who I think could really take the crown, I want to give this opportunity. And hear me out. I know it's crazy because she's already come back, but I think Chanel is my pick
What?
to come back because I think every time Chanel does Drag Race, I feel like she's kind of slept on. I think she kind of has one idea and doesn't really fully know what's going on in terms of what they want from her. But I think if she were to come back maybe in this tournament format, instead of just like that charity thing, maybe she could actually like really serve the girls. And I wanted to say Angina at first. I wanted to say Nina Flowers, but for me, is like Nina doesn't really do drag that much anymore. And Angina, I kind of see her as more of a likelihood on the Slasian Royale version of Drag Race. So I think for an All Stars, it has to be Chanel. She's
Okay.
beautiful. The mug is sickening. I'm gonna go with her.
I mean, Chanel was my very first queen that I ever got to meet in person. So, as far as I'm concerned, I would love that. So, I would not hate. Great choice as far as I'm concerned. Especially because like the format is different than what it was the last time she went on. So that's a perfect excuse to stick Chanel on again. Perfect. Go ahead and take me through your choices for season two, Jack.
Season two is so interesting because we've actually seen a lot of girls recently come back. I know that we just got to see um who was it just recently? Uh it was
Jessica
obviously
Wilde.
Nicole. Well, no, I mean Miss who?
Jessica Wilde.
Oh yes, Jessica Wilde recently. As far as All Stars 8, I loved her. Obviously, we got to see Sonique All Star 6. Um, we're seeing Nicole Page Brooks currently. I think my number one pick to come back from this cast that hasn't come back yet is by far Mystique Summers. I mean, she's one of the only queens who hasn't actually from this
I think
cast.
she's the only one that hasn't, right?
Well, if you don't want to talk about, you know, the
Oh,
used to be
other than the,
winner.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah,
we
and
don't talk about her. We don't talk about
obviously we can't bring back Sahara Davenport as much as we'd like to see her. Rest in peace. So it's an interesting thing that has happened. I'd love to see Mystique. I've wanted to see her back forever, but I didn't even realize until I looked at the list that she's the only queen that hasn't come back yet.
Yep, I agree
And
with
I
you.
guess
Mystique would be that girl, without a doubt. Like,
yeah,
we have to
I
see Mystique back. We have to. Like, how has she not been back? Like, she is by far have has one of the most iconic quotes ever in the series, and she has not even been. They haven't even attempted to bring her back up to this point that we know of.
and as far as other queens that I want to see come back for like another chance at this redemption, it's hard because I think this season has maybe the most talented cast of all time, in my
Hmm.
opinion. I know that's a huge, like, huge thing to say, but when you really
No,
look
it's
at the
true.
cast, everyone has like some kind of personality, and obviously I ride hard for Jessica Wilde, I ride hard for Morgan Michaels, but I think my pick is going to be the one that's most unlikely to ever come back, and that is Raven. I was a huge
Mm,
fan of Raven. And I think her All Stars 1 sucked, obviously, because, All Stars 1 was kind of a mess. And so it didn't really feel like a full opportunity to really be back as much as the other All Star seasons have been. And I think because she's one of the only girls from All Stars 1 that hasn't been back, I want to give her that opportunity specifically. But I would love to see, obviously, Tatiana or Morgan or Jessica Wilde back as well.
honestly, that's I have a
We're them
five
all back.
people listed from season two. Like season two was the one season like I cannot decide between Jujubee, between Raven, between Tatiana, between Jessica Wilde, between Morgan Michaels. Like every single one of them you bring back would bring great TV. That's like no question, without a doubt. Like every
Yeah.
single one of them would. That's why I'm like, season two, there bring back any of these girls that have already been on All Stars because I'm fine with them. Bring them back until they win the crown, without a doubt. If I
Yeah.
have to pick one, that's hard. Um, because like I said, every single one of them are giving me something. The only reason I'm going to say this queen is because it's been longest since she's been out of all of them, and I'd say Tatiana. But I could also would also put an asterisk there and say Morgan McMichaels too, because she was only
Yeah.
in one episode of All Stars. Oh, sorry, two episodes of All Stars 3. Um, but
And
did
that was a
that
journey.
last episode even matter? Like it didn't.
No.
No, like Morgan really needs to be. I think more. I think I would probably say Morgan. I'd say Morgan. Yeah,
I
I'd say
love that
Morgan.
choice.
I would say
I
Morgan.
struggled to not say Morgan because that duo of Morgan and Raven is just so sickening. That was like
Right?
our real first duo on a
And
cast.
especially since Morgan's been at like Roscoe's lately, and just like the way that she is able to like just speak intelligently and like she disagrees with people. I feel like a lot of time, but when she talks to people, like she's able to form like an argument why she disagrees with a lot of things, and I think that's why I really like Morgan is because like she's just like you expect her to say one thing and she's gonna do the complete opposite. I feel like she would be so much fun. This girl deserves more time. Let's be real. She won the first challenge in season two and then went out anything after. Get us Morgan back. Get us Morgan back. Actually, just let us redo. Can we just redo season two so we can have a new winner? Can we just redo it? I feel
I
like
mean, I'm
everybody would
not
be here
mad
for
about it.
it. All right. Let's move on to season three here. Just because for me, I feel like three might be a little bit more easier to kind of narrow down. For me, I put the queen that I want to see back to return as Carmen Carrera. I feel like it is time. She's back doing drag again. Um, she's by far like one of the most known trans figures that I think we've had on the show, and I would love, especially in this climate, for her to get some additional time to, give us some updates from where she's been and where she is at now. As far as the queen that I feel like needs to come back from All Stars that we need to see again, this is pretty easy for me. Manila Luzon, without a doubt. She is by far one of those crownless queens that I think we all look at, and I feel like this would be the perfect time. It's been what, 6 seasons since she was on another All Stars. Manila would absolutely be someone that I think needs to be reintroduced to the younger fans and would definitely be like that old school nostalgia presence that I feel like we could really use on another season. So, my picks would be Carmen and Manila.
Interesting enough, on season 3, there's only a few queens that haven't been back for an All Star season, and two of them don't do drag anymore. The other ones are Carmen, which she has a feud with RuPaul, so she's probably never going to come back. And that leaves one queen who was going to be my pick regardless, um, Miss Delta Work. I think
Yeah.
Delta Work needs to come back. She needs to show the girls what it is to be an older queen. She really had so much charisma, so much nerve. She has so much talent, and I think she is really unique. I think everyone can say how fun she is to watch online. Like everyone has seen her Delta show, and I think we all love it. I can't think of a girl who dislikes what she has to say because she's so funny. She's just so relatable, and you know what? If especially as a big girl myself, I'd love some more big girl representation, obviously. And since I can't pick her again, my queen to come back, I think, would have to be Mariah. I think Mariah Balenciaga on both of her seasons have been done the dirtiest. I think that she is never really given the opportunity to shiz what she's got. We rarely have seen her in a design challenge or a makeover challenge or anything like that where her strengths kind of lie. She's from the ballroom scene. She has a lot of knowledge. She's poised. She's got a beautiful mug on her. And every time it seems like she ever does a performance, they seem to just edit her in the worst ways possible. You can't tell me she was in the bottom during her performance challenge on All Stars 5. You won't convince me of that. Like, and her not being in the top and only given an honorable mention for All Stars 5, disrespectful. Disrespectful, in my opinion. I thought that her talent was easily top three of the week, so I don't know why she wasn't up there. I'm not really sure what the girls were thinking. So for me, it
Well,
has to be Mariah.
lucky for you, you might get your wish in another franchise, but maybe not All Stars, but maybe another franchise that might be happening even this year. But I actually Mariah, much like Morgan McMichaels, is one of those girlies that I really fell in love with doing like the Wow Present stuff, like the um what was the watch along series called? When they sit there, they watch the episodes. I forget what it's called. But
Oh,
like
something like
the
best buddies or best friends or something, right? Like
lead queens. I don't binge
I
queens.
don't know.
Binge queens. That's what it
Oh,
is. Binge
okay.
queens. Like Morgan and Mayhem on that made me laugh so hard. I love the Spanish edition when Mariah was with Alexis, even though Mariah doesn't even it isn't even Spanish at all. Like like the fact that they let her on that with Alexis, like just she was just such a key. Like, I really enjoy Mariah's personality, and it's just such a shame that it feels like she's not able to give that while she's on the show. So, um, she definitely needs her time to like really come out of her shell to do it. So I feel you there. Um, take me through your picks for season 4, Jack.
So season four is interesting because it's such a wild cast. Obviously, we can't have back certain queens because of drama, or they've quit drag, or unfortunately, one of our queens had recently passed away. Shout out to Jiggly, and she's in heaven. I know above us
Rest in
all,
power,
looking
queen.
down. What?
I said, rest in power, queen.
Exactly, exactly. I just hope that everyone that she knows how loved she was, even when sometimes it seemed like she was the butt of the joke. Um, she, I think she just wasn't, given. She wasn't given all of her time here, so I would have loved to see more from her. But I'm so proud of her from everything that she's ever done.
Oh, for sure.
As far
Jiggly is by
as,
far one of my. Jiggly actually was my original favorite, like original favorite from season 4. And season 4 was the first season I
mhm,
watched, so like I will always have an attachment to Jiggly. So yeah,
yeah,
rest in power, queen for sure.
it's hard not to love Jiggly, right? Like she's just one of those girls that I think we'll all love forever. But as far as a girl that has not come back that we do need to see back, in my opinion, I was kind of leaning towards. I'm between LaShawn Beyond and the Princess, and I think it's LaShawn Beyond for me. I don't know if she still has drag. I'm not
She
really
actually
sure where
recently came back.
she has come back
Yeah, she
officially.
recently came back, and she's trans now too.
Okay, okay. So
Hmm.
LaShawn Beyond, she needs to come back. I think that she was so appreciated on appreciated on her season. I know a couple of the girls in the season haven't done any drag recently, or they quit or whatnot. But LaShawn Beyond, like, you remember the first episode, she almost won, and then she go home the next week because she took off her shoes in a lip sync. She wasn't doing anything. Like, it was a mess. And I think she had what it took. It's just she needed more maturing, and it's been a while. Like, we've had so many years now. It's been what, 12, 13 years, and so I think she's had the time to really grow as a person, know what she has to deliver. And then as far as my pick for a girl who's already been back, who I would love to see come back again. Oh,
There's only really
goodness.
like two.
Yeah, that's the issue, is that this season only has a couple girls who have come back. Then we have people who are winners plus problematic people. Like, this season is really underrepresented.
Just say
Um,
Latrice Royale because that's the only answer. That's the only answer
yeah,
we
that
have.
is the answer. That is the answer.
That's the only
And
answer.
the only, it's like one of them doesn't do drag. One of them already won a season. One of them also already won a season.
Right, right.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it has to be Latrice. We don't have a choice. It has to be Latrice.
Yeah, it does.
Unless you want to count Kenya Michaels because she kind of came back on the same season.
You could technically count Chad Michaels.
We could technically count Chad Michaels, but
No,
I mean, and honestly, I would kind of be interested to kind of see
I
Chad
wouldn't.
Michaels like on all winners personally, but she wouldn't be one of my first picks. Without a doubt,
No,
no.
definitely
Um,
not.
I think the category on season four is going to be like the queen that hasn't been on. That's going to be more interesting here. So I'm
Yes,
glad you said LaShawn Beyond, because she
because
was
you're going to
like
say the other obvious.
well, no, she was my number three. So I think there's three very obvious queens that need to be on here. And the second one is Kenya Michaels, especially now that she's come back to drag after the whole Pulse nightclub incident thing. Like, I feel like she
Hmm.
has such an important story that needs to be out there, especially in these times. I would love to see Kenya get on the show and be able to, give us her perspective of everything that she's been through. Um, but as far as I'm concerned, the number one queen that needs to come back from season four that I still do not understand to this day why she has not been invited back is Dieteritz.
Madam McQueer.
You're close. No, no. Dieteritz has given us by far one of the best lip syncs of all time, and she hasn't even been considered. She hasn't even they didn't even give her a lip sync assassin spot. Like, what are you people doing? Like, I don't understand. Like, yes, I get it. She was not the most exciting on her season, but like, girl, like it has been so long since season four. Like, get Dieter Ritz back. Like, she made top six. Like, there has been like very few other people that have gotten as far as she has that have been as just like disregarded as she has. And I really feel like Dieter Ritz deserves her time. I don't care. Um, get her back on the show. Get her back on All Stars 11 immediately. Because if you don't, then it's just gonna be the same thing as everything else. It's just gonna be another day. Let's be real. But yeah, no, Dieteritz is by far my pick, but would be happy definitely with Kenya Michaels or LaJon Beyond for sure. Um, let's jump to season five, because I don't really have too many names on my season five list for like first time returnees. Um, the only person name I have here is Lanisha Sparks. Because I don't know what the fuck she's even been doing. Like, where is even Lanisha? Is she even like alive anymore?
Lanisha is alive, but Lanisha last reported was in jail.
What?
And Lanisha, so this is something I found out like a couple weeks ago. Lanisha Sparks was arrested on the charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon to
What?
her ex. Yes,
A
I was
deadly
gagged. You
weapon?
were gagged. The whole world was. I could not believe when I heard that Lanisha Sparks did that. I was like,
I
oh
mean,
well. I
actually, I
mean,
mean,
here
it
we
kind of
are.
makes sense because she was a little, she had a little, like, a little unhingedness to her. Like, I still remember her during, like, the lip sync challenge when she was doing, like, that weird, like, headbutt thing and trying to take all the attention on her. No, I can, actually, I can kind of see that. I can kind of
Eh,
see that. Oh, but now I don't have a choice for who should come back anymore. So, just move on. As far as the queen that I think should come back for a second time, then Coco Montrese, without a doubt. Like it has to be Coco. Like Coco has like All Stars 2 did so much for everybody but Coco. And maybe Adore. But like I've seen Coco live. Coco is one of the best performers I've ever seen in drag. Maybe not even in drag and out of drag too. Like, Coco is such a professional. I would love to see Coco get her time and really actually like flourish. I feel like that would just be really heartwarming to me, honestly, because I feel like Alyssa's had her moment now that she's has her crown. Like Rolaska talks have had their moment. We've talked about Jinx. Like, give Coco her time. Coco deserves her time. What are your thoughts here, Jack?
I mean, so there's like no one really to pick from, I feel like, on the season because they mostly have come back or quit drag. But if I had to pick one girl, I want to see the return of Penetration.
Ooh.
Penetration is the story of a local girl who gets her wish to come on the show as the fan vote, right, for season 5, and she goes home immediately. Maybe unjustly, honestly, if you watch the show and decide who you think should be in the bottom two, because clearly her outfit wasn't great. Serena Chacha's had the worst, but so many girls didn't really show us anything on that first challenge. But Penetration being in the bottom, fine, whatever. She goes home, first episode. So we don't know what to expect from her, really. You know, the only issue with Penetration coming back is maybe she's a little bit older. Maybe that's not something for her. But I told you I wanted Delta Work back, so Penetration could do just as fine.
Delta
And
Work
I
isn't
don't.
even that old. Nymphia Wynn called her out and said she's 49. She's not that old.
I'm just saying that, like, I understand that there might be an age thing there, but I don't think that there necessarily isn't too old for drag things. So I'd like to see Penetration back. But honestly, as a girl that needs to come back for a second time, it's hard because there are so few girls who have done this. And honestly, if I'm gonna bring someone back, I want to see a girl who actually has a chance of winning the crown. So I think that eliminates pretty much anyone. So can I choose someone who's done it more than once?
Who? Oh, you want Roxy back?
Well, obviously, I want Roxy Andrews
I'm
back
surprised you
because
didn't say Detox.
that was why I was asking if I can bring someone back who's already came back like more than once. But
She only came
like,
back once.
well,
Detox only
yes,
came back for
I
All Stars too, so Detox
yeah,
is good.
Detox is the only choice
Yeah,
though, right? Like, Detox is
Detox is the
the
only
only
other name I
choice.
have here.
Detox is the like, who am I gonna say? Serena Cha Cha, Monica Beverly Hills, like. And I
um,
hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Monica did nothing the last time she was here. Serena gave us more than Monica did, and that's saying a lot.
well, it's
Alyssa's
not
won a
saying that much
season.
because she
Alaska's
didn't
won
give
a
you that much.
season. Jinx has been given 2 wins. So I think that the fact that Roxy Andrews got snubbed twice, possibly even 3 times if you really do the calculations, I'm just saying. Um, Detox is the only correct answer that is even possible. But if I can't pick Detox, I would pick Serena Chacha, Alti.
I'm surprised you
But
wouldn't pick Coco. Why do you hate Coco so much?
I don't hate Coco. I just don't want to see Coco. I don't know that it's a good place for Coco because I feel like every time she's been on Drag Race, it hasn't been good for her mental.
Yeah,
And so I don't think that someone who has such a high regard for drag like this, who's like kind of not been treated well from the last time, in my opinion, I don't really want to see her back to like possibly do any damage to her.
so I get
Also,
that.
I mean, with Coco Montrese, it's hard too because people are going to still compare her to Alyssa, and Alyssa just won against the world, and it's just it's so much. Like obviously, I'd pick Roxy Andrews every single time without a doubt, but Detox is definitely the pick I am going with here.
I feel that. I feel that. Okay, take me through your season 6 picks.
Okay, now season 6 is interesting because we have the whole Adora situation about like maybe coming back but wasn't back but was, so that one's a little difficult. But I think if I had to pick one girl to come back for an all-star season, Oh, the problem is there's so many good queens, but
Very
I
few.
think
One person for their first shot and one person for a second shot or third. Right.
the girl who needs a second shot, let me start with her. The girl who needs a second shot needs to be Adore Delano. Like, if she's still willing to do drag and stuff like that, I need her back. If not, then my second chance shot probably is going to go to Gia, just because
Ooh.
she's such a mess. We love her. No one can say, like, Gia isn't messy and stuff, but she is so fun, right? Like, how could you not love a Gia Gunn?
I mean, very easily, but
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. She's a mess. Love
um,
her. Like, I think she's everything. So for me, Gia Gunn isn't easy. Like, I think for good TV, that's where we need to go. And if we're not considering her, I mean, I think that there are so many girls on season 6 that did such a great job. There's Kelly Mantle. We've got Laganja. We've got what's her name? Jocelyn Fox. That's it. It's not Jocelyn. Oh, Vivacious. But the one girl that needs to come back the most is April Carry On. April
mm,
Carry On needs
okay.
to come back. She's the other one. I feel like she's like the Dita Ritz of the, like, why hasn't she been back yet?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if it's because she doesn't do drag anymore or something, but I'm pretty sure she has and still does do drag. So I'm not sure why she hasn't been back. I'm not sure if she doesn't feel like she's ready or something, but she was sickening in her season. I know that there was a language barrier and some issues there, but I gotta give it to her. She was one of my faves on the season. I love her outfits. I think she was gone too soon. A
I feel
lot of
like
the
it's
girls
more
were, but
production than anything else because I feel like April went on, like where I was referencing back to the
hmm
Drag Race Mexico binge queens. Like she was on that with Cynthia Leah Fontaine, and she was very much so saying that she wanted to come back. So I'm like, I don't think it's because April didn't want to be on there. I think it's because they haven't wanted April to be on there. April Eve was even the first queen that says that even like brought up All Stars 2 way back on the reunion. So I'm like, yeah, April knows. April kind of knows, but I don't think that they want April just yet. If I have to be honest though, and I mean she already got her redemption, so I don't even know why I want her to come back again. But Laganja, I really want Laganja
hmm
back. I feel like she really needs to come back for a full season. Like if it was not for Laganja Estranja, like let's be real, half of the vocabulary that all these teens are using nowadays would not even exist. Laganja is
well,
the reason why drag lingo is like a thing. Like it's Laganja. She did it. We're all mini Laganjas because of her. I really like Laganja, and I like the fact that she gave that one lip sync performance. As far as I'm concerned, was like one of the best lip sync performances ever. I'm fine with it. Like she doesn't necessarily need to come back again. It's more just for me, just really wanting her to come back because I really think she could come back and actually get the respect I think that she wasn't getting the first time around. I would say though, if I was to want a queen that it's already been on that needs another chance, and that's definitely Adore, without a doubt. I was edging Trinity K. Bonet a little bit, but I think it has to be Adore, without a doubt. Um, just the fact that she is now fully transitioned, she seems so happy, just such a different spot that she's ever been in her entire life. I don't. I actually. There's part of me that doesn't want her to come back because I feel like she's just in such a good spot now. But for her to be able to reintroduce herself to the fans again, and to actually like go off and get the crown that she really kind of deserves in a lot of ways, would kind of really be epic. Like to like think back, like like when I'm sitting here when I'm 80 and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that Adore Delano won All Stars 13. Oh, that would be some shit. But um, yeah, I personally, I don't know if I want Jada back though. I'll be honest. She's good for drama, but I don't know if I need her back because she's not going to do well on any of these challenges at all. So yeah, I think I'll be Team Adore there. Let's go to season 7. Because season 7 has
oh,
actually a lot of queens that have not been back yet. And a few that have only been back once. And I'm kind of between two queens here. I don't even know if the first one though still does drag anymore. Miss Fame, like Miss Fame, I fell in love with Miss Fame the first time I was watching it. So I kind of want to say Miss Fame. But I think just because I know the other queen does do drag, and I kind of wanted to see the other queen come back as well too. That'd be Jaden Dior Fierce. Um, I, I, I don't know. She has like a weird, like a very like strong like old school following of queens, and I know she still does drag. So I think Jaden coming back would be kind of fun in a lot of ways. I don't know why I am kind of like intrigued in this option, but I think Jaden would be the way I would kind of go, just because like, but she got eighth place. So like it was just kind of interesting just kind of to see where she is at nowadays. So um I think Jaden would be my choice. And then as far as returning queens, I mean we don't have too many options. I'm gonna say Katya, even though I know she's never ever gonna come back. But like Katya has to be the choice because like she's the best returning queen that we have cast. So Katya.
Well, I can understand your choices. Personally, I have a few different choices. My first pick, if I could have anyone back who hasn't been back yet, I would pick Pearl. I love Pearl, but but I know she probably will never come back, right?
Right.
So that's kind of out of the question.
You could
So
still
if I
put her as
had,
your wish list though, person.
I mean, my wish would be Pearl, 100%. And I mean, if I couldn't do Pearl, it'd be Sasha Bell, probably just because I want to know how messy it's been. Or Tempest
You
du
just want
Jour.
to fuck her.
I don't know what. No, I don't find Sasha Bell attractive.
That's why
But
you're a fan on her OnlyFans.
girl, I would never. Like, I find Sasha Bell to not be attractive at all. And when she became like a thirst trap or anyone people were trying to get with her, I was like, I don't like that. But the girl who I think needs to come back for another time, who has already come back, has to be Candy Ho. And I say, I'm so serious. I think Candy Ho deserves another chance. She's come back already, technically on the Switch too. But I mean, if I mean maybe don't even count that, but I personally think she's just a beautiful queen. I like her drag. I think she's probably more mature, more funny than what people give her. You know, she's also Puerto Rican. I love to see more representation. So I personally would love to see her come back.
I would say see. I don't know if I called Switch coming back. So, um,
Well,
but that's still
if
fine because we don't
not,
have too many like other options.
if not, then it
It's
would
like
still be
Kennedy or
Katya
Katya.
because, or it would either be Katya or it would probably be like honestly just Miss Kasha Davis again
Oh.
because I like her and I think she's very undervalued.
I feel
But I like Candy Ho. I want to mention her because I don't think I've ever heard her name really come up.
I feel that. She definitely has one of like the weirdest edits of all time, where it feels like she lasted a long time and then has like no confessionals. But yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't be against that. Take us to your thoughts on season 8, Jack.
So season 8 is a bit of a mess.
Right.
Um, so we've had a lot of these queens come back, and we've had a lot of these queens have controversies, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think for who I would like to come back, obviously I asked Betty, but she's already coming back because she's in the purple group. We just haven't seen her yet. So that's like not an option, right? And that leads me to Layla McQueen because I think she's someone who everyone has wanted to see come back for a very long time now. She actually did really well, in my opinion, on her first run. I don't think she deserved to be in the bottom in the first week. I understand her being in the bottom the second week for sure. Uh, so I would love to see her come back. She does a very different style of drag from what I've seen. She's amazing, amazing makeup artist. I don't know if she would ever really come back because of the fact that she is such a big makeup artist now, but I would love to see her come back, especially because she does very like gender fluid drag. So I think that this could just be something that we haven't seen on Drag Race, at least specifically in US drag race. Like we don't really get bearded queens or anything here, so it is something interesting to consider. So Layla's my choice there, and for a girl that needs to come back, that's only come back like once, it's got to be Naomi Smalls.
Mhm.
Naomi Smalls. The Everyone needs Naomi Smalls in their life. Naomi Smalls is known for possibly doing one of the earliest drag strategies, I guess, if you want to say it, where she took out the biggest competitor on season 4 of All Stars, and without even a hint of regret, she said she was faster on that lipstick pull than Kennedy was on Milk.
Mhm.
She was like, and front runner, please. Goodbye, Manila. And we're like, oh, yeah, because Manila hadn't been in the bottom once yet, and there's her first time and eliminated immediately.
Yeah, that was a key. That was a key for sure.
That was everything. Naomi Smalls, greatest personality like we've seen from a girl who's kind of monotone. I don't know. She's so fun.
Honestly, I can't hate that pick because Naomi Smalls by far is like one of my queens, and I'm like needs a crown, like that does not have one that just deserves one. Um, She was not on my list though. Because I was like I feel like she's still doing okay now. I'd be like maybe like All Stars
I
12,
think I know where you're
13 I would put
headed.
her on. But I didn't stick her on my list initially. Um, yeah, I feel like my picks are kind of obvious, even though like I don't. I know for a fact this first queen is not coming back. But without a doubt, like the queen that we need to see on All Stars is Kim Chi. Like I'm sorry, like Kim, like you have no right to pretend you are too famous to be on All Stars, girl. Like, get your ass on it. Just do it already, girl. Like, just do it. Just do it, Kim. Just do it. Uh, like, I don't care. I want Kim there. I was such a big Kimchi fan during her initial run, so I'm just like, I need Kimchi to just come back and just like get her crown. Just get your crown and be done, and then you don't have to do it anymore. Okay? Then you don't have to go back. Just come back once and be done. Um, if I was to say my returning queen, this should also be pretty obvious just based on the fact that like who I am. Like I love Britney. So like without a doubt, like I need Derek Barry back on my screen ASAP. The fact that like they
The
brought
only
her back
one.
for like season 16, the season 16 opening, like Derek is hilarious. Derek is so talented. Derek has so much more to show. And the other thing that Derek has is the ability to cause so much drama just because Derek is Derek. So I'm like, I need Derek back. Like that one episode we had in All Stars 5 was not enough. Derek deserves another chance as far as I'm concerned. I need Derek now. um, let's go to season 9. And I feel like the one queen who hasn't been back that we're all needing back. If this is not your pick, Jack, I'm going to be shocked. Peppermint needs to come
I
back.
mean, come on.
You better say Peppermint. If you're not saying
That
Peppermint,
is my
there's
pick.
no
That is
other.
my pick.
There's literally I don't even have
There's
any other
one
names
other
of
girl.
girls who
There's
haven't even been
one
back.
other girl.
Is it Kamara Black or Nina Bonina Brown?
It's Kimora Black.
Okay, good, good. I was gonna say Kamara.
No, Neil
It's
Bonina
gonna
Brown
be
has. I'm
Kamara.
pretty sure still has like beef with RuPaul or something. I don't know all the dating drama there, but I'm pretty sure Kimora Black is the only person other than Charlie Hides, I guess, that hasn't been back on that season. And honestly,
It's time.
so
It's time.
yeah, it's time. Peppermint needs to come back. She needs to get her crown. She earned it. It's hers.
I don't have a girl that should be back though for like a second chance that's already had it. Like
Why?
the ones that should have already had the like the ones that didn't need a second chance that already got it. Shay and Trinity, like they got their crown. And Aja's back on this season. Aja would be the only other one I would say. Uh, so yeah, I don't know if I have a queen for that second category unless maybe like Alexis Michelle. I don't know. I don't think I have a name for that. I think it's very clearly like Peppermint and Kamara Black that need it. As far as I'm
I
concerned.
mean, I'm personally a huge fan of Alexis Michelle, but she was just on recently. So my real pick for my who needs to come back who's already had a chance, Pheromone.
Okay.
I
I
love
just don't
Pheromone. I
think
think
there's
she's
anything
so
Farrah
funny.
could do that would. I don't think there's anything new that she's ever gonna bring. And that
I
sounds maybe like horrible and me like judging her possibly being able to grow, but just like I just don't expect there's anything different than she's ever going to be able to show us that she hasn't already showed us.
I mean, I think she's more confident now. I think like after transitioning and stuff, I think she's really found more of herself.
Yeah.
So I want to give her that opportunity to really come back. Like I know uh she didn't have the experience she wanted when she came back for All Stars 4. I think it's been long enough, you know. Same time as Manila Luzon, so she could come back. She's had years to get better, and I would love to see Faramir come back.
Okay. Well, take me through your season 10 pick, Jack.
Well, season 10 is a season of contestants that exists. So my season 10 pick to come back because there are very few girls you can pick between, right?
Very so
Most
few.
of them have either come back once, twice, 7 times. Is I want Cameron Michaels back. And I want Cameron
Mm.
Michaels back because Cameron Michaels does good drag. She knows how to beat her face and she knows how to proportionize her body. That's it. Like she does good drag, right? In my opinion, and she's had been up and down with doing drag, not doing drag, whatever. But the girl I want to see come back the most from this cast, who's already come back more than once, is Monique Hart. You cannot tell me Monique Hart did
Yes.
not deserve her win on, first of all Stars 4, and secondly, on UK versus the world. I just robbery after robbery. And Monique Hart shouldn't even have gone home on All Stars 10, if or on season 10. I'm sorry. If you really look at what everything that happened, there was just some riggery going on in this season. I can't. Monique Hart would have made it all the way to the end in this season if the judging had been fair and consistent. And those are facts, baby. Facts are
No,
facts
they
in
are
America.
facts. Those are such facts. Yeah, Mohart is by far one that I have on my list here for sure. It needs to come back and get a crown because she deserves a crown already. Um,
Yeah,
but Cameron was actually my number two. You already know who my number one is because I know you don't like my number one, but it's
Kelly
okay
Kardashian.
because my number one is by
You are
far one of
homicide.
my favorite queens of all time, and that is Miss Asia O'Hara. I don't give two craps what anybody says about Asia and anybody who does not like her. As far as I'm concerned, you are just jealous because Asia is by far one of the most talented queens that has ever been on this show. If you want to say differently, that is up to your interpretation. I don't really care, because I love Asia O'Hara. I have loved her since the moment she was on the show. I have seen her live so many times. I live for her, and I am so excited for the moment where she's able to officially just rid the world of the butterflies, and which I don't understand why she did to begin with, because like girl, like how were you gonna get those butterflies out of the stadium to begin with? But anyway, like eventually she's gonna let it go. Well, she probably already has to let it go, and it's she's gonna find something new, and
She let it
she's just
go,
waiting
and
for the
that's what
time.
happened with the butterflies. So
I'm
maybe
just
we don't
saying.
let it go again.
Well, there's a reason why Asia O'Hara has been like face of the World Tour and everything like that because she is just so professional and so good at everything that she does.
I love Asia's drag. Asia did get a lot of favoritism on her season,
She did, but it was, as far as
and
I'm concerned, warranted.
no, it wasn't because Monique
It was
Hearts right
warranted
there.
in my eyes.
But
I don't care
anyways,
though.
I wouldn't mind seeing Asia O'Hara back either. I think she's a great queen. I would love to see her back. This is the thing with season 10. There's so much favoritism on all the different queens that I try really hard to not look at. So season 10 has a
Mhm.
lot of messiness to it in my mind.
10 is not a good season, so I get that.
There are really good
Hesitation
episodes
in the
and good
beginning.
moments.
Yeah, it was not. 10 is good. 10 is by far one of my bottom tier seasons, without a doubt. Like it hasn't aged well to me as far as I'm concerned. Um, a season that's aged a lot better, I think, for me, is season 11. Um, and without a doubt, the queen that needs to come back from season 11 is Sugarcane. Like you are not telling me if ands or buts. Like Sugarcane was and is by far one of the most rigged out contestants that there has ever been. And you will not tell me any differently. And as far as I'm
Oh yeah.
concerned, Sugarcane should have probably already been top four in her season. So I personally feel like Sugarcane needs to come back and get the treatment that she really deserves. Um, Now, as far as someone who's already been back that deserves a second shot, it's a little bit hard, kind of hard to say. I was edging Akira a little bit just because, like, I feel like Akira's All Star 6 moment was just not great, and I don't think they gave her anything as well either. But like, it, I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna say Plastique just because, like, how could we not want another run from Plastique? Like, she set the bar with the best runway package ever, as far as I'm concerned. So, uh, am I looking for an excuse to get her back on my screen? And hell yes, I am. So I put Plastic there, but I will put an asterisk next to Kyria as maybe her actually be my actual pick there.
Well, without a doubt, the queen that needs to come back is obviously Sugar Cane. We both agree on that. Like, Sugar Cane is one of the only girls that hasn't come back from that season that either doesn't have a controversy, that doesn't not still do drag, that didn't already win, that didn't, go to host their own show. There's so many things you could say about that, right? Sugar Cane is so talented, underappreciated on her own season. She easily would have made it had we not been very poorly judging people. I want to note though that one girl who needs to come back to undo her moment that she is most remembered for is Honey Davenport.
Great choice.
Honey Davenport needs to come back because Honey Davenport has one of the most cringy, sad moments on the show that's ever existed. She is devastated she lost. She cannot handle it. I don't blame her. Um, and I think this is really showing like a girl who just has not had that interaction, that kind of experience she wanted, and I think she needs to come back. Now, as far as a girl that has come back that needs it, obviously Plastique is always everyone's choice and should be always. But the girl who really needs to come back, also that has been back before, that needs another shot, that needs to be treated correctly, is Scarlet Envy.
I was about to say you were gonna say Scarlet. Oh, you don't
Scarlet
think
Envy
she
is
don't think she was treated correctly in UK versus World too?
okay. I will say this again, and for everyone in UK versus the world, what was it? She and Mayhem, I think, were at kind of a disadvantage because I don't think they came in with this serious idea that they were gonna like get money or anything like that. Because at that point, the girls went to UK versus the world. They weren't getting anything really other than exposure out of it and maybe a TV show or something, right? And not a TV show. I'm sorry, they got a song with RuPaul in the first season. A mix
If
edited
you could even
that
call
was
it
a
that,
mess.
because she didn't even take a photo shoot with Blue.
It was a mess, right? It's a complete mess. So I think Scarlet Envy came back because she was asked, and I think she knew she wanted to show some fun drag and whatnot. But I think it's really different when you go there and then you find out there's a reward. Like you can't really change up your looks. You can't really like get things correct. Like she always had a good track record. She was always doing well, but she was always like just pushed to the side. Scarlet Envy, she never was really bottom tier in my opinion on her season, other than that bottom six placement. I think the episode she goes home, I don't understand how she's in the bottom two personally. I think that was
Did because she
stupid.
kind of danced kind of terribly, but I don't get why she was against Raja in that episode, because Raja I don't think deserved to be in the bottom two that
Well,
episode
Silky was
personally.
right there too. But anyways,
Right.
so
Moving on.
and Nina West. But to be
Well,
fair, well, come on, let's keep it 100.
yeah,
To
keep it
be
100.
fair, uh, she also won that episode where they gave the double win to her and Evie, and it kind of felt like she was the winner of that episode, in my opinion. I think she did the best in the challenge, and I think that since she also won on UK versus the world, I mean, even her run on All Stars, I think she's shown that she's great. She has a lot to give us. She has a lot to show. I mean, I can't believe that she hasn't been given more, and she was unfairly cut on season. What was it? Season six of All Stars, right? Yeah, season six of All Stars. I feel like she was unrightfully cut. Like, a season six of All Stars has a lot of problems, but that's a girl who needs to come back.
Okay. Well, Jack, take me through your season 12 choices here as far as yeah, who you want to
Oh, season 12 is hard. So many things to talk about season 12, but keep it light and sweet. Widow Von Du is the queen that needs to come back, no matter what. Widow Von Du is the most talented queen that got shafted that hasn't come back yet. And if I wasn't saying Widow Von Du, I'd be saying Brita Filter because she is just one step of shafting just below Widow. I think they both need to come back. But my queen who's already been back, who needs to come back, pick is gonna just have to be Jan
Yeah.
because not many girls have been back from this season.
I mean, I echoed those very similarly. I feel like there's an obvious choice with the top three of the two, like Crystal Method and Gigi Good. But personally, I don't know if I'm really a big fan of either, so I don't think I would really care if either of them came back. I have very noticeably like issues with kind of both of them personally.
Well, yeah.
So I don't know if I would want either of them back. So I definitely agree with you that I feel like it's all the girls that got most screwed that I'm actually kind of surprised they haven't like even brought Widow back in like a sense of like throwing her in on a season like just to like sacrifice her too, you know? Like it's kind of a little surprising to me that Widow hasn't even had any sort of outside of season 12. You wouldn't even know Widow is even on the show.
Oh
So,
yeah, they do
um
her dirty.
yeah, I agree with you. Widow and Jan by far are my two choices here, without a doubt. Jan will always be one of those girls that I'm just like I don't know why, but I fell in love with her from the moment that she was on our screen. So like just her energy, I think she's so much fun, and she makes good TV, and that's why I wouldn't mind Jan being back without a doubt. I think moving forward though, since we're basically like at the seasons where like they haven't really done as many all-star picks here, we don't necessarily need to give our second pick here. Like maybe of these ones here, we'll just go through the ones that whoever we want to see return. So if there's someone who's been back from another season here, you definitely choose them. But I'll be honest, I have no returnees from any seasons from 13, 14, 15, or 16 or 17. So everybody
Really,
that I've picked moving forward here is a new queen I want to see on. Um, season 13, I have two names here. One is Tamisha Aman, because how could you not have Tamisha Aman back? Like,
I don't want her.
she's just insane. I'm sorry. Like she's just gonna make
She's a
some
scam
hilarious
artist,
TV.
girl.
She is, but she will make some hilarious TV, and that's why I would be back to have her back.
She's an
Um,
embarrassment.
But the one queen from season 13 that I do have down here, like the underline, like darkened without a doubt, is Rose. Rose is like one of my favorite queens that has been on the show, and the fact that she has been so just they I don't know why production hates her so much. I literally do not understand it. But like production just hated Rose. They didn't know what to do with her character. They gave her one of the worst edits of all time. And then like in the edits, like the episodes where it felt like she really definitely deserved the win, it felt like they still like edited it to the point where it was like she was just kind of basically like just getting handed a win. I don't know. Rose is by far like one of those queens that I'm like, I just do not get why this franchise hates her so much, but then let her go so far. So, I don't know. I really would love Rose to come back, and I could really see a world where she does amazingly well. But I also see this being a situation where it's like if she's able to escape like the Tina Burner side effect that she probably has with them, where they're gonna set her up just to fail. Um, that's my big thing that I do want to see her come back because I know they're gonna just set her up to just not do well. Um, yeah, I think that's my thoughts on season 13. Though I don't really have
I mean,
all that
obviously,
many great
listen,
thoughts on 13.
I love season 13. for the queens, not for what happens. But Rose is easily the girl that needs to come back the most. But if I had to give anyone else a second chance, we had a lot of girls already just taken because they came back for this season. Um, it would either be, it would probably be Kamora Hall because I like her drag style. I mean,
She had
Joey
had
J
no
is right there, but Kamora Hall hasn't shown us much. You know,
hmm No, you're right, and she's
I
definitely like the Mackie doll. She'd have some great runways for sure.
she has great runways and she has that iconic phrase from that she still to this day never got right on her quotes. Like I don't understand what people were trying to get at with her. Like I was rooting for us. Like she just could not get that down. She was like, I was rooting for us. I was rooting for us. I was rooting for us. Like she just couldn't figure out what word it was that she was supposed to be doing. And then when they finally told her what word it was, she just did it the same way 7 times in a row. And they were like, yeah, okay. So I just think Kimora Hall would be really fun to see come back. Like I think she's definitely like had a little bit of time. I think she has a great package. I think she just needs to, figure out the whole what Drag Race is about. And I think maybe she has. So I'm hoping for her.
She could have a fun, at least like 3 episode
Right.
in there,
And if not her,
force
Joey
herself.
J, because we'll get another Feather Queen.
Right. Joey J would be kind of fun though. At least Joey J, like if like she made it to a lip sync, would turn out that lip sync without doubt. So that would be kind of fun. Um, what are your thoughts on season 14 here?
Okay, so obviously season 14, the girl who needs to come back the most is the girl who never had the chance, and that is Cornbread Jate.
Yes.
Cornbread should have been given the same opportunity that Eureka was given, and I don't know why she wasn't.
Because they had to put Sasha Colby on season 15, and they knew Sasha Colby was going to end season 15. So,
That's pretty true. That's a great point, Your Honor. Now, the problem is Cornbread is just a star. She was going to be in that final two. Like, it would have been her and Willow Pill. Like, sorry, Lady Camden, take your British ass somewhere else. I don't care. So, and I honestly, I'm not a huge Lady Camden fan either. I think she's very mediocre and gets praised for it. But I think there's quite a few girls on this cast that got the same kind of treatment. So, my other pick for this has to be June Jambalaya because June has one of the messiest endings on her like season. And come on, she was the one that was like, "It's chocolate," right? Like that was a huge moment for her. She's like, "It's chocolate," and the whole world said, "It's chocolate" with her. And I think it'd be fun to see if she's grown at all in the last couple of years. I mean, maybe she hasn't grown enough. Maybe she's not ready to be back. But I love to give the girls who've gone home early usually another chance.
I mean, this would be the perfect format. Bring back Jim. Wouldn't surprise me if they end up bringing her back in like a filler way, or like as
Yeah.
that girl that they don't expect to go far kind of thing. Like that wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if she's necessarily on my list of people that I need to see back, just because I don't know if I really understood her essence initially to begin with, but I wouldn't mind it. Um, I think you hit the nail on the head to begin with. Cornbread is by far the girl that needs to come back from this season, and like, I would have been fine had they just decided to, delay production until her leg starts to feel better, or her knee, or whatever it was that she messed up. I don't remember. Um, like, I would have been fine. They were just like, you know what, we're just gonna take 3 months off production. We're gonna come back when she's ready, just to give Cornbread her crown. Just because, like, honestly, she kind of probably deserved the crown from season 14. But like, yeah, for sure, cornbread needs to come back, and I have a very solid feeling. I feel like cornbread will be back in like the next All Stars or two. Um, let's go season 15 because 15 I feel like has like 15 and 16 are going to be very interesting just because they're the two newest seasons, and well. Yeah, well, we have 17 as well too, but I don't really care to see back anybody from season 17 just yet. I want to give them some time because I feel like season 17 needs some time to grow. Just gotta be honest there. Um, so if I was to say season 15,
Yeah,
there's
I agree
actually
with that.
three girls I have on my list here that I think could do really, really well on an All Stars. We'll just go in like th- from like the worst they did on the season to the best. Selena's titties, without a doubt, needs to come
Oh yeah.
back. If anybody would thrive in this Survivor-esque format, that's Selena. Like Selena loves Survivor. I would love to see what she would happen to do in this kind of format here. If she's able to get like a group of girls that she could really, work with and talk to and manipulate or whatever. Uh, Another queen that needs to come back, I think, for a slight redemption, just based on the fact of how she was kind of treated versus like how well she did is Lucy LaDuca. Like without a doubt. Like Lucy is so talented and I hate to say I'm one of those girls that like hated on Lucy during her season, mostly just because of like I need someone to root against, right? That's just kind of how I am. I need someone to root for, I need someone to root against. And so I was kind of rooting against Lucy. I kind of hate it because she's really talented, but like the edit made me dislike her. So, it is what it is. But I feel like she could be someone who could come back and really have like a really good All Stars redemption just based on the fact of how she was edited the first time to how she will be now. Um, and then my number one choice, without a doubt, I don't know if you're going to agree with this, Jack. Actually, I already know you're not going to agree with my number one choice from season 15. But my choice, Lux Nor London. I fucking love Lux so much. And Lux is like the same kind of off-brand as far as concerned as like Mistress, to the point where Lux is going to give us the drama. Lux is going to give us the strategy. Lux will give us good TV, um, as well as some great runways. And just I really like Lux a lot. I'm sorry. I very slowly I think evolved into a very huge Lux Noir London fan the last few years. And I would just love to see Lux back. I'm sorry.
Well, for me, I you hit the nail on the head for me with the two girls I want to see back. Selena's titties, I want to see back. I don't think they would give her a crown, unfortunately, but she just has so much charisma. I love her so much. And my pick for someone I think I could really see winning a crown would be Lucy LaDuca. I think Lucy has so much unique style to her drag, especially now that she's elevated it. I don't know if you've seen it, but she has really more
Oh,
come
I
into
saw her
her
at
own.
DragCon. She's gone such like a punk rock direction. And I'm just like, girl,
Yeah,
like who? Like I remember like looking at her site. I was like, who even is that? Like that's not Lucy. And I was like, oh my God, it really, really is Lucy. Like, like she's really embraced like a different side of herself, and I love that.
yeah, I mean, Lucy is completely new to who she like completely found herself, and I love that she's done this. I think she's just gonna she would bring so much. I could easily see her be a winner pick. It gives me very much Sonique vibes, where it's like a girl who didn't fully know themselves on their original season, who had just so much potential built up there, and then like comes back and wins the competition. Maybe in a way that no one ever saw coming as well. Like I think a lot of people doubt Lucy LaDuca. I don't think people gave her much respect because, it was that whole Lux and Mistress versus Lucy, and the edit was not kind to Lucy, even though, if to be fair, Lucy was doing well, but she let the pressure cooker of the situation get to her. And I think that Lucy just, deserves that extra chance.
Absolutely.
And I'm not sure that I want to see her on this format, but I want to see her back eventually.
No, she'll be back, like for sure. Like I can't
Oh,
see a world where
guaranteed.
she does not come back. Um, Jack, go and take me through your picks for season six.
Okay, season 16 is very simple, I think. In my opinion, season 16 obviously just happened not too long ago. There are only so many girls. Everyone wants to see her and her and her back, but the number one girl who should be on everyone's lips, on everyone's minds, is Plain Jane.
Yeah,
Plain Jane is I guess, our villain of sorts. She's not really a villain. She's just more so a girl who speaks her mind, and people don't really like that. And maybe she's not the most tactful when it comes to saying what she wants to say, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
It really
And
is.
Plain Jane was my pick from the get. I loved her. I didn't think she got snubbed not having a shot at the final lip sync, but it was clear based on it's been like this for a while, but fan reception for her was not as high as the other two girls. Therefore, she was not getting a spot in the final two. I mean, to be fair, she probably was going to beat Saphira in that lip sync. So,
Anybody would
you
have beat
know,
Saphira in that lip sync, though.
well, not
Honestly,
anyone. I mean,
Saphira did not do a great job in that lip sync.
yeah, she didn't, but
Her,
Tsunami couldn't have beaten her in that lip sync, I don't
well,
think.
true.
But if I had to pick a girl that needs to come back for a redemption, or I don't want to see her right away, honestly, but the girl that needs to come back is Hershey the Court. Tay. I believe
Ooh,
that she has so much more to offer. I still don't even think she should have been in the bottom two her first episode, if I'm being honest with y'all. So
I love
I don't know.
Hershey. She
I think
she
she's great.
she's by far like I think one of like just I yeah like something about her energy, just in general. Just I vibe so much with Hershey. I vibe with her so much, and I was shocked that she was queen that they decided to knock out first. Um,
I mean, there's a
and
lot of queens here that are really good choices, but
honestly, there's
Hershey's
I would
just
put
fun.
everybody on season 16 on this list other than Geneva Carr
Like,
and Tsunami Muse.
if you're gonna bring back Geneva Cars and Nami Muse, they both need to show like a lot of change.
I
I
like
think since
Tsunami, but I don't think Tsunami is a drag race girly. Like I don't think her drag translates to drag race. And Geneva Carr, I didn't get anything from ever at all in the season. So I don't know if I connected with her ever. So I don't really know if I care to see her back. But like I could literally make an argument for like Hershey, Mirage, a mandatory meeting, Megami, Plasma,
let's
Dawn,
keep it 100
Mayim on
though.
the page. I don't really care if I want to see Q back. But like my top
There's
three
reasons you can bring
though,
back every single one of these girls,
yeah, there really is a reason to bring back every single one of them. I
and some of
named
them
the
are
ones that
good,
I
and some
said
of them
that
are
I wouldn't
drama.
bring them back. There's still a reason to bring them back. But I think my top three, you said Plain Jane, and she's definitely number one. Saphira Crystal absolutely needs to come back, and she definitely will. Um, I kind of want to see her on maybe like a global All Stars. Just it feels like she already won the crown, right? Like in just the way that she performed in the season, like I just don't know what more she's going to give. So I need to see her in a cast of just heavy hitters where she can also, you know, I feel like that's the only way I really want to see Saphira back is when she's in a place where she needs to earn it. Because otherwise, it feels like it's like a Shea Coulee situation kind of thing where she's just gonna kind of be handed the crown. And then the other queen that I've absolutely have grown to love so much since this season has ended, is Morphine Levion. Like, I love Morphine. She's so talented. She's so good. She's such a good lip syncer. Like, she might not be the best in every single type of challenge, but like, I don't care. I really just I vibe with Morphine. Like she's the guy. She's
Oh
just such a
yeah,
fun time girly, right? Like she just is one of those girls that I would just be like, I would love to just go drinking with you because like we would have such a good fucking time. So yeah, like honestly, like there's no bad pick from season 16 at all. I feel like honestly
no,
anybody you bring back from season 16, other than like maybe one or two or three people, would be a miss. But like there there's such that's such a good cast list. Honestly, 16 is such a great list of girls. Um, well, let's go ahead and move on to season 17. And I did say that
oh goodness.
honestly, there was nobody from season 17 that I really want to see right away because I don't think there's anybody from season 17 that is really truly ready to go into All Stars right away. And I don't and you can say that I'm shading Lydia all you want. It's the truth though. I feel like if Lydia even had taken a year to get, she would have been even better as far as I'm concerned. So there's no one necessarily that I feel like I want to see back on my screen immediately for All Stars 11. But if I'm going to have to pick one person, even though I know she is not ready at all. whatsoever. I the only queen that I'm dying to see back on another season is Lexi Love. I'm ready for her to go through the transition she needs to go through in her mental state to really truly like own her shit and come back on a season and just kind of like have maybe like the Bosco experience, right? Where it's like she's able to come in and have no doubts in herself and just own everything completely. Oh my God, Lexi is going to be such a star in whatever All Star she returns to, and I'm so excited for Lexi personally, and everything she's gonna have to give to us because you know she's about to give us some shit. Um, Jack, who are your picks?
So it was hard for me to say Corey King here, but I couldn't say Corey King and I couldn't say Sam Starr. As much as I like them both, there is more growth that needs to be done with both of them. And though Corey's doing having a great time on Cameo, I think she needs to stay there, really use that to like take herself forward. I kind of see her as almost like the Trixie of drag, right? She like didn't go that far, but yet she's beloved by everyone for what she's done after Drag Race. So I don't want to see her come back just yet. But the girls who I think need to come back, the first one is Crystal Envy. She is the girl that got knocked out for no reason. She should have won at least one challenge. She was doing well the whole time. She literally did bad in one challenge, got knocked out on a lip sync where she didn't even lose the lip sync, and then they kept a girl who hadn't done well in any challenge yet. So it was a favoritism thing, clearly. And now, past that, the obvious choice, you all have heard me talk the most about her. It's Lexi Love, the correct winner of season 17. I'm sorry, I know this is controversial, but had we not just gone off of the bullshit of who does Twitter want to see win, and we just gone off of like who deserves to be in the final two, we would have seen a Lexi Love crowning because we know she would have swept any bitch in that final two lip sync. I'm sorry if you're not a Nerve fan. I'm sorry if you're a Susie Toot fan. I'm sorry if you're a Jewel Sparkles fan. I'm sorry if you're a Sam Star fan. Any of those girls would have lost to Lexi Love in a moment's notice.
Uh,
They could have had a whole year to prepare versus Lexi's 30 seconds, and Lexi probably still would have won.
yeah.
Lexi is a talented performer. She is sickening. She is nothing but that girl constantly. She was easily the winner. She was the most exciting thing about the lip sync, and she wasn't there. She,
The chicken
am I
hawk.
wrong? Am
The
I
chicken
wrong?
that
Did I lie?
statement. No, you're
She
not.
literally showed us her reveals on the way out, and we were all like, "Oh, we were robbed of this lip sync." Because then we all watched lip sync, and everyone tried to defend Anya, like, "Oh, she did her own thing. It was so good." People were like, "Jules had that moment though," and we were the rest of us who were living in reality were like,
It's just some bullshit mama.
"Oh." Like imagine if Nymphia had done something similar to Saphira last season, the girls would have been so upset.
Yo.
I mean, Saphira would have won, so they probably actually wouldn't have been. But like, if Saphira had been the one who won that lip sync based on not winning the lip sync, we would all be like, oh, I don't even think Anya won that lip sync still, but I think she's deserving of the crown completely. I don't. Again, that's why it's hard with Drag Race because like, should one lip sync really decide who wins? I don't know because the format seems to change to yes and no, depending on the day. So
Right. Depends on how we're feeling that day, Jack. Depends on how we're
it
feeling.
really is, and how it's really dependent on how the fans feel because that's all they seem to care about right now, as opposed to like who they want to have do their platforming. So I don't know, um, but if it were me, Lexi Love has to be the girl who comes back. But Lexi Love needs her crown. Like Lexi Love has to come back and win a crown. I don't want to see none of this. Roxy Andrews wins the whole season, then they give it to Angeria just because they felt like it.
Ooh,
Like, I don't want to see this bullshit again. I'm so tired of seeing girls and not actually win the crown after a final lip sync and shit like that. And then like, I'm tired.
okay. Well, Jack, one thing that I'm not sure if anybody is tired of just yet. That's the international queens getting a chance to shine on the U.S. platform in All
Oh,
Stars. And so, I have a question for you. If there's any international queens could possibly come back and take a spot on an All Stars, who would be your girls that you would pick come back? Because I have one name. in one name only. I just want to know if
Really?
that's close to the name that any of the names that you have in your list here.
Look, there's quite a few names on my list of girls I want to see come back, but one of the people that I think needs to come back no matter what is Miss Jade So.
She wasn't.
Miss
She wasn't, but she was number two on my list. Fuck yes.
Miss Jade So is one of the greatest queens that has never won a season and deserves all of the love in the world. I think she's great. I think she's beautiful. I think she just deserves all of the good things that could ever happen to her, right? So that's my first pick. Well, one of my picks, I should say. I never
Hmm.
put these in an
What?
order.
It's one of your first picks. Yeah, you're fine. You're good. You're good.
Yes, my one of my other first picks that I think needs to be here more than anyone else, and I know she was already technically brought back, is Galavaro.
Yes.
Galavaro won Global All Stars, and the girls were mad and they sent her home.
They
You
really did.
cannot tell me Galavaro did not do an amazing job on Global All Stars, and I refuse to listen to any of the girls until we all admit that Galavaro did dirty, like so dirty, so
I
disrespectful,
will say she
so
sucked in Snatch
egregious.
Game, but I don't think that was her fault. I think that was a
Yeah,
lot
that
of it because
wasn't.
just the format for them, even including Snatch Game, I think it was just a fault to begin
Yeah,
with. But there was, I mean, there's a lot of global all stars that we could just kind of look like and be like,
yeah,
is
there
this
was a
really
lot of
fair or
mess.
is this not? This isn't. But you're right. Gala is by far like, oh my God, she is that queen from the Mexican franchise that I
I
love so
mean,
much. So much. There's so many good Mexican franchise queens, honestly.
there are, but if I
She's
have to
number one,
go,
without a doubt, I
like,
think.
there are just so many queens that are from each like international season that just need to come back, that need to have their moment. So it's like hard not to see them ever coming back. And I wanted to say Black Peppa for UK, but
Oh
there
my
was
God,
one girl. There
yes.
was one girl that I needed back more than her,
Ooh.
and it's Estina.
Oh,
Estina
Estina
is,
Medella?
yes, that girl
Okay.
got robbed so hard. She got robbed the hardest out of anyone I'd ever seen, and she needs her spot. She should have been in the finals. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if there was a controversy that happened backstage from what I've heard, but that's the real like wow, we were all done dirty.
I was gonna say in the same vein, uh, I want Taste.
Taze, yes.
Taste in the US would slay so fucking hard. Oh my God.
And I want a
Oh my
double
God.
bring back of two girls specifically who have to come compete against each other again because they'll just be top two anyways. And it's Caramel and Tamara Thomas.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yes.
oh
Uh,
my gosh. Such good queens that I think would do an amazing job here. I,
Caramel
I
especially was like I've never seen a queen that felt like she's been edited to win and then goes out like in six. Like, like, I remember being so confused when Caramel
I
got
mean
eliminated because
it's
I'm just like
just
I was like, but who's gonna win then? Like, you haven't given anybody else a good edit. Like, what are you doing? But tomorrow too. Tomorrow as soon as like Kara left, I remember I was such a Tamara fan, and then like she lost to. I was like, oh my God,
I was
I can't
shocked.
have anything to win.
I was
I can't get
shocked that
anything out of the
Tamara
season.
became one of my favorites.
I have one queen though. One queen amongst all of the queens in the fandom that I feel like needs to just come to the United States and get her crown. And that's Marina Summers.
Oh, I
I
knew you were gonna say Marina.
of course. It's I feel like it's the obvious choice, right? Like how could you not
Yeah.
give Marina Summers a crown? Like she is one of by far the most just charismatic and just engaging queens just when she's by herself performing on stage. Like Do you know how much just like natural charisma she just exudes while she's performing? Like there's so many queens that just could that wish they could just like stick a drip of like a drink of her sweat and get to just try to get a
Come
little bit
on.
of her X factor. And I'm just like there's just very few queens out there during their talent show performances that could have nothing going on stage and still just make it feel like it's like a Madison Square Garden, like performance that's at the fucking like New Year's Eve. I don't know. Like there's everything Marina Summers does, as far as I'm concerned, is just next level. And like she needs her time. She needs her time. She deserves it. Rue screwed her over in UK versus World 2. Okay, bring her back and do her do her right, Rue. Do her right. That's all I'm
Speaking
gonna
of
say in that.
screwed over by RuPaul, Hollywood star and
Ooh,
Floor from Down Under.
yes. Okay.
I must make it a point to mention these girls were both my faves. They had this whole duo thing going on of both being really fun, really great, and it was painful to see how looked over they were the whole time. And it just she was going to win the whole season. Hollywood Star was going to win the season. Then she lied to RuPaul about her age. I refuse to hear anything else from anyone that that wasn't the reason why, because we all knew that was the reason.
The
We
fact they
all knew
believed her
that
though,
was the
girl.
reason.
Like, here's the thing: is that you're gonna lie about your age and then they believe you about it. Like, shouldn't I feel like you deserve an award for that, as far as I'm concerned.
I
Like,
do too, because the girl didn't
like
even make it.
shouldn't they be doing their fact checks? Shouldn't they be running their background check on these people? Like, that's on them if they didn't catch the fact that she lied about her age, and like
Well, they
the fact
called
that
her
she
out
looks
about it,
okay.
but
Well,
yeah,
still, you know what I mean.
yeah.
Still,
No, I
they let her
completely.
go through the whole entire process, making her think that she got away with it. Then you're gonna call her out on it. I'm like, okay, girl, that's a little. Like
I mean,
you should have been doing your fact checks beforehand. That's all I'm gonna say.
they just wanted her to lose so bad so they could give it to some random girl who they kept giving wins to that didn't deserve them, and it was crazy. Also, under that same vein of girls who randomly lost that didn't deserve it, the front runner of Drag Race Holland, who got cut right before the end. I think this is the craziest thing that's ever happened, and probably why the show got cut, actually, to begin with,
Tina
is
Minaj.
Kata Minaj. Kata Minaj was clearly going to win the whole show,
I don't believe
and
they will ever bring her back though, just because they did her so dirty on UK versus the World too.
they did her dirty on the India versus the World, or I'm sorry, yeah, was it UK versus the World season
Yep.
two?
They did her
Yeah,
dirty on that, and I'm like, they're not gonna let her come back in that.
they're never
No.
bringing her back. But I did want to mention how she was my fave from that franchise, and that is the reason why that franchise got canceled for a while. And there's no other explanation. I can't think in my mind any other explanation as to why a girl would or why that show got it canceled.
Jack, I
And they
gotta
know.
ask though, out of all the girls we've mentioned tonight, is there one girl above and beyond else that you think needs to take home the All Stars 11 crown?
One girl out of every single girl we've ever mentioned that
Yeah.
needs to bring home the crown. That's
Because
such a hard question.
I
Wow.
know my answer.
I would love to hear your
If
answer
I was to
first.
crown any of the girls that we've talked about here tonight, without a doubt, it would be Peppermint.
Oh, that was not what I was expecting.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Peppermint is by far, I think, the one queen that I feel like she deserves a crown. Like, like her on her All Stars 9 performance, or sorry, her season 9 performance was very unexpected to me. I will say, I very much so fully expected her to be eliminated, probably like top 5 when they decided not to do, or sorry, top 4. Yeah, they did a 4, and they decided not to eliminate anybody. Because they were usually doing top 3s up to that point. So I was fully expecting her to go onto it and be eliminated in fourth. And then when she did what she did in that finale, and then everything else that Peppermint has done and has stood for throughout the entirety of her career, I couldn't imagine anybody else better than to give a crown to, and also just to just lock into place the fact that the season 9 top four is the best top four in history, and I will stand by that for I think as long as I live.
You know, I think what you said was correct. Peppermint needs her crown. I just, the problem is there are queens that I think have deserved their crown at least once, if not twice, and had that ripped from them. And my first person who I want to go to is one of the OG queens I want to mention is Raven. I
Hmm.
think after recent events, especially, I think before recent events, but especially after recent events, I think the fandom would agree that someone needs to be recrowned for season two. And I believe because Raven was, in fact, the runner up of season two, she deserves it. I think she deserves it the most.
I mean,
I
one would say that Raven maybe already has her crown, considering that she, has a paid job with Rue, has a TV show that she does now,
Yeah, she doesn't need it.
in response to it. Like I don't think she needs it. Um, but
She doesn't
I
need it,
think
but
everybody kind of
she
looks at
deserves it.
Raven already as that girl,
Now,
honestly.
the girl that everyone expects me to say, and is true, and is the most correct statement I could say, Roxy Andrews. Roxy
Yeah.
Andrews won her original season. Jinx did not win that season. I'm so sorry, girls. Look at the tea, find the tea within inside yourself. Look at it. Jinx Monsoon couldn't have won that season without the setup of the final four lip sync. She could not have won that season if they cared about runways in the slightest. And the girls, including Coco Montrese and Alyssa Edwards, who were feuding at the time, even came together to say, "You're right. Jinx Monsoon can wear whatever she wants on the runway and look a damn fool, and they will love her every time. But if we wore that, we get the red to filth out of us." And it was correct. It was completely true. And so I feel like Roxy Andrews not only won season five, she came back for All Stars 2, where she was so in her head because she had to constantly deal with the fact that the fans hated her because they all loved Jinx Monsoon so much that she couldn't even really fully compete. So then she comes back for All Stars 9, and now all of a sudden everyone's a Roxy stan. And she won the season just for them to give it away to some other girl who didn't win the lip sync, who didn't win as many challenges, who didn't deserve as many points. Like, what? And only won because favoritism again. So multiple seasons of favoritism ruining Roxy Andrews' chance of winning. And honestly, she doesn't really need the crown because she won it already. Really, truly, when you think about it. But if I had to give one girl the crown that wasn't someone who I think in their own way has the crown already, and I don't want to just do Peppermint because you did Peppermint, I think my pick has to be Plastic Tiara. And I say Plastic Tiara because that glow up from the charity season, how wasn't she in the final
Insane.
three?
Insane.
And the fact that Roxy Andrews is the only reason she didn't win was because of favoritism from RuPaul. Crazy. Like so we had two girls who dominated the competition the whole time out of Plastique and Roxy, and then somehow only one of them makes it to the top, even though one of them won the most competitions out of everyone. And then she wins the lip sync by both girls, and then the girl who lost the lip sync to both of the girls that were in the top three ended up winning. No, baby. You
Crazy.
can't tell me that Angeria won that lip sync against Vanessa or Roxy, but
Oh, she
especially not
didn't.
Roxy. So I'm gagged and gooped, baby. And so I think I have to give it to Plastic. I didn't want to, but I think that if I
You
had to pick a
wanted
girl who has shown she deserved her
to.
crown and didn't get it, it would be probably Plastique because I don't think anyone has ever done so well in a competition to not make it to the final.
I mean, I get why to some degree just because she never won a lip sync, but like still like How many challenges did she win that season, and how many challenges was like she
Um,
part of? Like at least like
Plastique,
7. I
Plastique
feel like
Tiara won 4 challenges and was high 4 other times.
that's ridiculous. Like that's ridiculous. No one else
She
had the same kind
never
of
was
roster as she
cut.
had.
Was. She never really did a bad job.
I
She
feel like
has,
if I remember, like we did our own All Stars 9 thing too, and like we even had points where she was cut off and she still won, and she still had the
yeah.
most amount of wins out of everybody in the fucking cast.
The only person who had as many wins as her in that season was Roxy,
Yeah, understandable.
and that's saying a lot.
Ugh, that All Stars 9 is gonna really bug
A
me for a
travesty.
time, honestly, just because like there are so many. I guarantee you, there's so many older queens that are not gonna do this thing anymore because they did not give Roxy a
The
crown.
girl,
They
after
did
that
not.
bullshit they pulled, I don't blame
Ugh,
them.
ugh, ugh. Well, Jack, I feel like we came up with a pretty good list here. I feel like we have like pretty much
We have a
all
very
of
long
the
list.
best people that we would probably ever want to see here.
I mean, there are
Um,
people that I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear other people's opinions. Who else
oh
needs to come
yeah,
back?
totally. Would love to hear what y'all opinions are. If you disagree, agree. Who else would you guys want to see from All Stars come back? Because honestly, let's be real. If they haven't been back, it's probably only just a matter of time until they do. Even if they're a first boot, like chances are they will be coming back. Especially if we're going to be going from like the days of having like 9 to 10 All Stars contestants to now like 18, which is more than our regular season. That definitely means we're going to be seeing people multiple times here. So, I guess that's the one thing we could kind of, I guess, be thankful question mark for, is the fact that if your favorite doesn't win their initial season, chances are they'll be back in a year or two to go on All Stars. So,
I want someone to comment to me why Madame LeClaire deserves to win the crown in the comment section.
I don't think anybody
Okay.
is
Well, if
gonna
anyone
take
has an
it.
idea, please let me know because Renegade will not stop telling me that Madame LeClaire is the ultimate winner. And
I don't know.
I just need to know
I've
someone
never
else's
said that in
perspective.
my entire life. The gaslighting is stop trying to be mistress because you ain't mistress.
I've never gaslit in my
You're
life.
closer to Isabella than you are to Isabella, girl.
I love the name
Okay.
Isabella, so that's fair.
Isabella, Isabella. Well, I was gonna say something about how QuackrrJack is shook, but look how QuackrrJack looks. Okay.
She's beautiful. She looks beautiful and gorgeous
Something like
all
that.
the time.
Got any final words, Jack, here before we close up our hour and 40-minute podcast that we've done on All Stars
Losing is the
11?
new winning, baby. So maybe you didn't
Honestly,
win, but maybe you're not a loser for losing. Maybe you're the winner.
maybe you really are, honestly. Like, maybe the real
Saying.
loser is the one who goes on and wins the prize, because now they're stuck to be a pawn under Paramount Plus and WoW and RuPaul's Drag Race and all that other stuff. Whereas you get the runner up, you can kind of do whatever one you want to do. So, you know, whatever happens on this next All Star season, if it's even half as much as this pink bracket will be, I will still be here for it. And, you know, as always, I can't wait to see how this turns out. And hopefully, y'all can't either if you've lasted this far. Thank you again so much for listening. Please, if you enjoyed the podcast here tonight, make sure you like, subscribe, and again, comment below on your choices on who you would love to see back on a future All Stars. Because, again, we would love to hear your opinions as well. But until next time, and on behalf of my co-caster, QuackrrJack, this is Renegade signing out. But remember, keep spilling that tea, y'all. Bye!
Bye.